Hi folks. Yeah, I didn't realise that the microphone wasn't actually switched on as it should have been. So okay. Well, there you go. So first video is about the car mechanic. Yes. Right. This story. Okay. Well, a while back when I first got the Honda Civic 2009 car, I got it from auction. And the back of the car had been damaged, so it needed to be replaced. So I took it to this mechanic, and the colour he got was red, but the car's black. So he said he will paint it as well, and he charged me £160 to get the part, put it on, and paint it. Right? Which, yeah, I don't know how much the part cost, but it wouldn't have cost that much. To put it on wouldn't have been that complicated. So really painting it would have cost me probably about 40-50 quid of that £160. Then a few months after, because he had painted it black to match the rest of the car, a few months afterwards I washed the car and some of the black paint come off of the area that he painted. When I pointed it out to him, he said, "Oh, okay, I'll redo it for you. Bring it in at some point. Yeah, we'll arrange a time for you to bring it in, and I'll completely sort that out and repaint the whole thing for you. No charge." And I said, "Okay." Now, of course, as a mechanic who's fairly busy, he gets a lot of work, and I wasn't expecting him to cancel a job to clear the area so we could paint this bit of my car. So as I say, that was probably about 3.5 to 4 years ago now. Then, when the window of the car got broke, well, it stopped going up and down properly. It got a bit weird. There's a regulator apparently that's the problem. Okay. He said he would do that, and he wouldn't charge because obviously I said to him, "Don't worry about the back of the car. There's a little bit of red coming from. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'd rather the window was sorted." He said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll do that instead, but I won't charge you for it." So I said, "Okay." But again, month after month after month after month after month, he was saying, "Okay, come back in 2 weeks, come back in a month, come back when I come back from holiday, etc., etc., etc." There was always a come back then and come back then and come back then and come back then and come back then. Small job, so therefore it wasn't getting much money for it. So we had bigger jobs coming in. Okay, you understand that, right? Then when the mirror got broken with that accident in December, he said, okay, he would order a mirror. Then he said he had ordered the mirror and it was being delivered, but because of Christmas it would take a bit longer. Then after Christmas he said, well, before Christmas he said it had been sent. The company had sent it. And, okay. Then after Christmas he said, well, no, the company haven't sent it. They're asking more money to deliver it, and he's not going to pay that. I said, okay. He said, but he has got a 2007 Civic that's going to be scrapped, and he's going to buy it off the owner, and he thought he was going to pay about $180 for it. And I said, no chance. I said, I've sold cars, spares or repairs a couple of years ago that were Civics and 2006 ones, and I got nearly £300 for each one at the time, and there were a few years between. I said, so no, I don't imagine you're going to get that. Well, he had to pay about $350 for it in the end, because he was supposed to be swapping around the front doors, because that would have sorted out the window and the mirror. So he didn't do that, but he took the mirror off and took the regulator off the car. And then this morning I got a text message from him saying, bring the car around tomorrow, price is £100. Supply and fit, £100. Right, okay. So I said, okay, and is the reduction counted within that? For not doing the painting the rear of the car. And no reply. So I asked him again, and he said no. And I said, well, okay, you may have forgotten, but you did paint the rear of the car, and the paint came off, and you said you redo it. Then you didn't, and then you said you would take that money off, the cost of doing that, off the job, the next job. I said, okay, this is now the next job. And he said, well, go to someone else then. Go and get the job done by someone else. And I sent him a text back and said, look, yeah, okay. When the paint come off, if you'd have said to me, look, the reality is, yeah, that's a risk, yeah, with a paint job. Yeah, the paint can come off. So, yeah, if you want it redone, I'll redo it, but I'll have to charge you. And I said, okay, don't worry. Yeah, if you said, well, I'm not going to give you a refund for any of that, or a reduction for any work in the future for that, then I would have said, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have been overly happy, but I would have thought, okay, it's what it is. But because you gave your word, you're now going back on that word and saying, no, you're now not going to honour what you said in the past. So £100 to get the job done. If it does actually fix a window and fix the mirror, then okay, that's not a bad amount really when you consider it. Yeah. I then sent him a message saying, well, okay, you said supply and fit £100. What if it's just supply? What if I just get the parts of you? He said same price. Excuse me? You're saying same price just for the parts, even though actually I don't think he actually paid for the parts. Because he sold the car, and I think he was allowed to just take those parts off because the person who bought the car only wanted the engine out of it, didn't care less about the doors or anything in the doors or in the mirror, only cared about the engine, just wanted the engine from it. So I don't think he probably paid anything for it, for those parts. Now again, he's running a business, I get that. Had he not have given me his word before that he would reduce the next job, I wouldn't have been expecting him to do so. But he did, and so now I won't be using him to do the job. Simple as that. We're going to look for a mirror that's from any other car that would just do the job. So, yeah. Right, and lawyers situation. Yes, I've got an appointment on Wednesday to go down to the same law office I used previously for legal aid for this court case about the accident. Am I expecting I'm going to use the lawyer? No. No, probably not. But it is very much a case that if there is a trial and I go forward on the day of the trial and say I do not have a lawyer, I'll be representing myself, the sheriff will say, well, have you approached any? Have you talked to any lawyers? So, therefore, that's the purpose of having this meeting on Wednesday. Because, okay, if this person's going to do a job and do a good job and wants to work and wants to actually really do a job, then okay. I will use that person. But if not, then I will not. So there you go. It is exactly what it is. So, but the meeting is basically because for the sheriff will get annoyed if I don't actually even go and see a lawyer. But if I go and see one and I find that person is probably going to be like the last ones and not want to work, then yeah, okay, they will accept me probably representing myself. Certainly, I'm not more likely to do so. So, okay. You do the bit that you were supposed to do. And so, there you go. So, I will let you know how it goes, I suppose. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Be blessed and be a blessing. I'm going to do another video in a second about the second subject. So, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.